Hi girls, and welcome to today's video. So with tomorrow being the first day of spring, I wanted to talk about habits that's important to keep in your routine this spring while we unwind and go through my evening. It's currently 5:58, so really 6 p.m. and I'm about to do my at-home ab workout and a little bit of yoga. And with this, my first tip is to implement fitness into your everyday routine. A few of you may have seen last week's video where I talked about tips to improve your everyday hygiene and appearance, and that's something that's important in general. Granted, fitness can look different for everyone. Even me personally, fitness has changed differently throughout the years. At one point I was doing ballet, and then it was strength training, then it was going to the gym avidly, then it was cardio, then it was ab workouts. It will change depending on your lifestyle, age, just different things. Right now for me, it's really just doing ab workouts, stretching, yoga, and sometimes cardio when I'm up for it. But the point is that regardless of how you're implementing it into your routine, just keep it consistent and present, and also make sure to manage it into your schedule that won't interrupt your consistency. Meaning, if you tend to be free more often in the mornings, then fit your fitness into your morning routine. If you tend to have more time in the evening, fit it into your evening routine. If you know the weekends aren't likely to give you time, then manage your time better for the week, the same vice versa. The main point is to just keep it active in your routine. Now girls, I'm gonna go on with my routine. I'll talk back with you after I'm done so that I can keep sharing more tips and we can go on with the rest of my evening. Okay girls, so now that I'm done, I feel good. I feel a little recharged, and the stretching part was definitely my favorite. I feel much more like mobile now. My body feels like just better, and it always feels good to get some movement in after a day of sitting and working or just being stuck in my mind doing things. It's good to like physically move and get some energy out of my body, which leads me to tip 2, which is to set a daily routine for yourself and learn how to time block. What I mean by setting a daily routine is, like me for example, I know every day I'm gonna wake up between 6 and 7. I aim mostly for 6, but some days I do end up getting up at around like 7 or 6:30, 6:15, however my morning goes. But I do that because there are things that I like to have done every day by 12, and I've noticed that the way I function and just the way that my things go, for that to happen I have to be up by 6. Then also all of the work that I do throughout the day is set on a set schedule. Granted, the work in itself changes, but the things that I do remain the same. And having a routine built like that helps you, one, to stay consistent because you know that every day you have to do a number of things, and once you get adjusted to doing them, you can do them kind of like on autopilot. And two, it helps you get the most out of your week and your day, because if you plan ahead, you can say, okay, well this day I'm gonna do this and this. I'm sorry, I'm out of breath still. Then that comes with time blocking, which is basically telling yourself not every day at a set time you're gonna do something, but for example me, my time blocks are, okay, so every day I'm gonna wake up between 6 and 7. Every day between the hours of 8 and 12 I'm gonna get this type of work done. Between the hours of 12 and 2 I'm gonna get this type of work done. By 6 p.m. from 6 to 9, that's my time to cook dinner, do this, do that, things like that. And even not time blocking, but also telling yourself, okay, so every day once I'm done with this, I do that. So me for example, every day once I'm done with my morning self-care and skincare, I clean whatever mess was left in the kitchen the night before I go on to doing my work. That's something that helps me make sure that I get all 3 of those things done every morning without really missing anything. Now girls, I am a little hungry, so let's go into the kitchen and make a little post-workout snack. Okay girls, so we're now in the kitchen and I just made my usual evening snack. I eat this almost always every day and after I work out, not only to hold me down until dinner, but this is also a way that I implement wellness into my body, which brings me to the next tip, and that is to prioritize wellness in your diet. I did just post a video regarding this, and I love eating yogurt as a probiotic in my diet. This is gonna help clean my gut and just keep my system moving and flowing properly. A few other ways that I implement wellness into my diet is in the morning with my kombucha, my suja ginger shots. I drink tea twice a day. I have videos on all of these different things posted in short form on all of my other platforms. But definitely find a way to implement wellness into your diet, whether it's you taking supplements. It can be as simple as drinking a lemon water in the evening or drinking a tea at the beginning of your day instead of a coffee and creamer. It's also important to be really conscious of what you're eating. Don't overconsume things that are going to deteriorate your body on the inside. One way that I do that is that I'm very conscious of salt and my sodium intake, only because being really high in sodium is bad in so many different ways. And one way that you can physically and visually see it is that it soaks up all of the water in your body. You'll always feel dehydrated, you'll always be puffy, and your system just doesn't flow well. You're always tired. Being too high in sodium definitely sucks. The same with sugar. That's gonna make you really sluggish and feel just heavy and drowsy all the time. And you girls know I am really big in body care. So please note that your diet does affect how you smell. Whatever you're putting inside of your body is gonna seep out through your pores when you sweat, after you work out, or even on a daily basis, and you're gonna smell like the leftovers of whatever you're fueling your body with. So definitely be very conscious of your diet for so many reasons, and just make sure to always implement wellness and just keep that as a priority in your diet. Now girls, I am gonna finish off the rest of my yogurt, and then we're gonna move on to the rest of my evening. I do have some laundry that I need to put in, and then we're gonna go ahead and shower, reset, and just cleanse ourselves off before going on with the rest of our evening. And of course, I have many more tips for you girls, so stay tuned. Okay girls, so now while I have my laundry going, we're gonna go on to our next tip, but I do need to roll up my mat from earlier and put away a few things that I have left around. So let's chit chat while I tidy up a little bit. Okay, so my next tip is to maintain the environment around you to be your best self. And I say that because your area can really have a really big impact on your mental space and just how you're feeling overall. That's why I always really aim to keep it really clean in my apartment so that there's nothing to distract me or to deter me from whatever I'm doing. And of course, you can manage this in different ways dependent on your schedule. Me, for example, I use the mornings to clean up any mess that I may have left over from the night before, and then the evenings to actually clean. And throughout the day is when I'll do the laundry and little things around here and there. Another important thing that I recently started doing that I love to do is first thing in the morning, I open all of my doors and windows. This lets the energy from in here have space to escape, and then the fresh air from the outside can come in. This also has really helped in regards to like how good it smells. I never realized that if you don't open your doors and windows often, like the air does get trapped in here, and it just has like a, it's not an odor, it's just like a smell, you know. It smells more fresh and just it's more breathable in here ever since I started doing that. Ambiance is also very important. I always have candles on so that the air always has a specific smell to it, and in the daytime it's pretty bright in here since the windows and doors are pretty big, and I'm up to where the light comes in. But at night I do keep minimal lights on, and I have like colorful lights in the apartment to set a different ambiance in here. I love the very dim, like yellow candle lit kind of lighting at night. I feel like it really makes me feel cozy and at home. And believe it or not, things like that definitely do contribute a lot to your mental and just how you're feeling, how productive you are, things like that. Okay, so now that I have this wrapped up, I'm gonna go ahead and put it away. My face mist, in case you were curious about what I was spraying my face with earlier, this is my PDRN mist from VT. I love using this after any form of workout or anything that's gonna make my face kind of like get sweaty. Since I do have oily skin, I need to hydrate it so that it doesn't feel dehydrated and make excess oil. That's how I keep my skin really clear after sweating and just building up that oil from working out. So first I'm gonna go ahead and put these away, and then I do want to light a candle that was just sent to me from Bath & Body Works, so we're gonna do that together. Give me 1 second. Please don't mind the washer in the background, it's on the spin cycle already. This is the candle that I had up here before. I like very sweet scents for the home, like anything vanilla, cookie, bread, shortbread, things like that. They actually sent me a sourdough candle, which when I first saw, I read the title and I was a little skeptical about what the odor was going to be because I've never smelled a sourdough candle, but this honestly is like exactly what I like for my candles to smell like. So it has a little bit of like a cinnamon spice to it, but it's still very sweet. So I'm gonna light this so that throughout the rest of the evening this can just fill my home. And now while that's going, everything else in here is pretty much already put together. So I'm gonna do a few little things on my iPad, and then we're going to head into the shower to rinse off and reset my body care. So I will see you girls then. Okay, so it is now 10:17 and I'm about to take my shower. So let's talk about my next tip. To make sure that you're moisturizing daily, and this doesn't only apply to after shower, this is also in your shower routine. Most people think that all it takes to keep your skin moisturized and hydrated is to put on lotion or creams, but the moisture level of your skin is also very dependent on how you're moisturizing it while you're in the shower. I do this by using a sensitive skin body wash after my unscented wash. Since the unscented wash is going to actually clean my skin, the second one is going to moisturize and just add like a film of hydration over my skin. Then after the shower, I do my after shower body care, and I have a few different videos on that posted if you haven't seen that yet. And I think I will make a video soon on my full like in-depth routine on YouTube, so definitely stay tuned. One question I've been getting asked a lot on all my platforms is how to deal with hyperpigmentation, marked skin, dry skin, or just skin that isn't vibrant. And all of those things really trickle down to the same issue, which is your skin barrier being either irritated, damaged, or just not healthy. And the easiest way to repair that is to moisturize your skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and shower, and I'll talk back to you girls once I'm out and we're doing our fragrance and making my scent profile. Okay, so I am now out of the shower. I'm gonna spray a little bit of hypochlorous acid on my skin to eat any leftover bacteria. And while I am done with all of my body care, it is time to add some scent and fragrance, which leads me to my next tip, which is to create a scent profile that you can put together daily. And I'm going in first with my herbal deodorant since my underarms have dried from all of the moisture products. And this is the herbal deodorant from House of Balance. I've tried to find it online to link it for you girls because this was sent to me, so I'm not sure how to purchase it and I can't find it anywhere. So I'm trying to contact them and see if they can let me know, but I'll get back to you on that. Now with my scent profile personally, my base note is always my oil mist since that's what I wear daily and that's what goes on the base of my skin. And considering that I already have that on, I already have some type of scent, but I like to add in some fragrance. So I'm doing my Vaseline hack. I've talked about this before. This is to make my scent last longer and avoid from having to overspray and put too much alcohol on my skin. And the scent that I use every night is Vanilla Bourbon by Mix Bar. Now at this point, I already have a pretty good scent and fragrance going, but I like to add a little bit more just to have like some top notes. Lately, this pink coconut calypso has been my favorite. I know that I've had this for years, but it was like all the way in the back of my collection, and I grabbed it the other day unintentionally and I realized, well, I remembered how good this smells. And for the most part, that is my scent profile every day. The only thing that'll ever change is the top notes. Sometimes I'll wear Vanilla Romance, sometimes I'll wear All the Stars. I'll always change this one around depending on the time of day, where I'm going, what I'm doing. But lately for nighttime it's always been this. And now that I have all this on and my body care is pretty much completely done, it's time to go to the last part of my routine, which is to make a tea to get ready to go to bed. So I'll see you girls back in the kitchen. Okay girls, now I do leave my tea to cool for about 8 to 10 minutes to of course cool down, but also to kind of like mix together and let the bag soak for a good amount of time before I start drinking it. And this time of night is usually when I go through all of my notes, schedules, and tasks for the days, and I reflect on what I did today, what's being rolled over to tomorrow, and just in general what I'm doing the next day. But of course, it's just to have a mental note. I don't really plan and schedule out my next day until the next morning, which leads me to my last note, and that is to set yourself a slow morning routine. Not just any morning routine, but one where you're prioritizing yourself. And it just feels great to really be grounded first thing in the morning and to pour into yourself before you do anything else. It helps you show up as the best version of yourself regardless of what you're doing that day, and it absolutely helps a lot with productivity and just getting through your day better. Like, you're more aware of what you're doing, what you have to do, all the places you have to be. You're just more conscious of your day, and I feel like that goes with being grounded. Also, first thing in the morning, just pouring into you, doing your self-care, your skincare, making sure you're eating properly, drinking your wellness, things like that. And I would absolutely say that when I had a regular morning routine, my days were going like fine. Just of course some days better than others, but I feel like since I've implemented this slow morning routine that I have now, everything just feels so much more in alignment. And it's really rare that I have an off day because my days are more so predictable. So there's really not much to throw me off because everything that happens I see coming. I don't tend to feel too overwhelmed or overworked because I go into the day knowing what I have to do that day and what my workload is for that day. So I would definitely say that's a very big thing for me, is a very well structured morning routine. And that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you girls so much for watching and for joining me as I went through my evening and talked about things to keep in your routine during the spring. Granted, these definitely do work well year round, but of course since tomorrow is the first day of spring, we're going into a new season. And if you've been waiting for a moment to really reset yourself, rebrand, just restart, definitely use the spring because you can literally bloom while the flowers are blooming. If you enjoyed this video, definitely go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you have any other videos you want to see from me, leave them in the comments. I do take all video recommendations and I do love hearing from you. I respond to every comment and I'm active on all my accounts every day. Remember that I am Jemiah Zonia on all platforms. And I've been able to connect with so many of you lately, so definitely don't be afraid to reach out. I'm happy to be your body care bestie, your internet big sister, really anything that you need for me to help. And if you're new here, definitely go ahead and subscribe because I don't know if you've checked my accounts, but I'm here for the girls and I give all of my tips, routines, secrets, products. I post and talk about everything, so you definitely want to join. But that's all I have for you girls today. Thank you again so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye girl.